Welcome, everyone, to the delayed weekly HubSpot update. Technical problems, as per usual, uh, meaning one of our guests said it's about time you got the hang of this now, but no, I haven't. So there we go. We're a bit late because I lost James's face. I couldn't get James's face on the screen, and it's such a gorgeous face. We decided that it was worth waiting. So we're here again. HubSpot updates. Let's explain ourselves. Me and Richard, you can see, and Prime Real Estate to the left of the screen. Partners in Real Inbound, closing the adoption gap. More on that.
Oh, I love your new slogan.
Do you like that? And James, who's our best HubSpot friend, normally here with Scott, who's cried off sick today. James works with us on many of our client projects, providing expert technical support. Plus, he's the only one who actually knows what's going on with the HubSpot update, so we have to have him here. And he'll take us through. Well, we'll attempt to describe what's going on in HubSpot land now. In this last week, one thing I have noticed, gentlemen, and I think there's a big bit of an elephant in the room. There aren't very many updates. There's normally about 4 pages, and today we've got 2. And some of them aren't really updates because they're just something that's moved from a private to a public beta, which we can mention. I suspect this is because of the forthcoming Inbound conference. So for those of you who don't know, Inbound, which is a term coined by HubSpot, if you didn't know that, Inbound covers the whole idea of content marketing, blogging, and now kind of added in paid channels and PPC and SEO and all sorts of things. And Inbound itself is a term coined by HubSpot in about 2012. And since forever, they've had a conference in Boston, which all HubSpot partners are invited to attend. None of us can make it. James, are you going? Scott going?
Scott's going. I'm not going to be there.
Scott's going. Year. Wow! So Scott can be our man on the ground and report live into the update that week. I think it's 2 weeks away, something like that. But the consequence of that is they usually do a few massive reveals. They launch a new focus for the year. Previous focuses have included new hubs. I think the year of usage was the year that's just gone, which is aimed at getting people to actually use the thing. So I'm sure there'll be a new strategic perspective. There's a new HubSpot persona that they'll be talking about. You heard it here first, kids. Somebody called Growth Gabby. Growth Gabby will be replacing Marketing Mandy, one of the historic HubSpot buyer personas. So we'll be hearing about that, and we'll get a ton of technical updates, I'm sure. I don't know whether there'll be any new hubs, but there certainly will be new features, such as the previously mentioned, sales space, prospecting space as it is at the minute. I'm sure we'll get a bit of a facelift, and we'll see added functionalities, and that'll be launched then in a couple of weeks as well. I think it's after the iPhone launch, so I don't know which one I'm most excited about, the iPhone launch or Inbound.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, probably the iPhone launch. So let's have a look. Let's go to our portal screen as we do. So just to explain to everybody, this is our demo portal, which means we have access to all of the updates. So some of the updates, you will not see some of these updates in your portal because you may have a pro or even a starter or even a free HubSpot. And if that's the case, you'll only see, as you can see here on the product section, you'll only see the ones that pertain to your specific subscription. That's why we're a bit lucky here on the demo portals. We've got Inbound. I've got Inbound on the brain. We've got enterprise subscriptions on our demo portal. Don't worry, we can't actually use it for anything other than demoing, which means you'll see all of the updates that are coming through HubSpot on this update. Rich, I'm going to come to you first off. What's of the very few updates, only 2 pages, what struck your fancy particularly this week? What should we talk about first?
Well, I just thought that there's a nice big group there of updates related to AI. And while obviously AI covers a plethora of things that it can be used to enhance or or change or whatever it is. But it looks like there's quite a few AI updates. So I wondered if we could just talk about those in the round together. Not that I've got much to say, I must admit, about the AI.
It's too late now. It's too late now. You've cat's out of the bag.
But I think,
Let's talk AI.
I'm shooting my bolt just introducing it, really, because James has got really good things to say about this, and so is Tony, because there's some things about lead scoring and stuff like that, which is right up Tony's Strasser. So,
Strasser,
yeah,
good word.
So
thanks, Rich. We normally have Mr. AI himself, Scott. Underwood. Which one is Scott?
Underhill.
Underhill. Yeah, sorry,
Underwood's
Rich.
your other one.
Yeah,
we're a double act.
Yeah, I can see.
We fit out seamlessly.
Not that
one
seamlessly,
time
clearly.
hill, one time it's a wood.
Under the Hill. It sounds like It sounds like a J.R.R. Tolkien novel in this group.
That's what I said to him as well.
Right. So lead scoring, AI lead scoring. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get back in the room. So there's quite a lot of scores suddenly appearing in HubSpot, which is very exciting. I've seen I finally managed to get my deal scores working. I don't know whether you've seen that, but HubSpot is plotting the likelihood of a deal in your pipeline closing and giving it a deal score, which is really cool. It's kind of based on 4 or 5 different measures, such as how long it's been in the funnel and when the most recent activity level was, and you'll see them change actually. So if you reach out and have a conversation with somebody in your pipeline, you'll see the deal score go up. I read about a company score, which is very exciting from a prospecting perspective. You can now get a company health score. I've not opted into that. I don't see it on here. It may be here, or maybe it was just maybe it was a release I missed previously. And we've got the lead scores as well. Now, of course, the idea is the better your lead, the fit of your leads, the more likely they are to convert, right? Or put another way, what we want to do is spend all our effort on high scoring leads, people more likely to close. Back in the day, we used to do that personally by talking to people. We used to ask them a bunch of questions, qualifying questions as they were called, and we'd assess how likely they were to close. Now, you do that from a sales perspective, obviously, but you also do it from the customer perspective, because you want to know how much information and how deep to go with the customer. And if somebody's kicking the tires, they just want to find out a little bit about your product or your services. They want to know how much it is, for instance. You don't really want to necessarily go to town. In fact, that can be a qualification in itself. You know, where are they in the customer buyer journey? But again, this takes signals. This takes let's pull it up to have a look actually. See if it covers that. That's a bit small for me to see. I can't see what we're building. Let's go and have a look if we can see it in the knowledge base. Okay, so the score is going to be built on timeframes, life cycle stage, and probably a few other bits as well. In other words, once a lead enters in, it'll have the score automatically associated with it, which gives you, as a rep or as a BDR, it gives you an idea of who to go after first. That's broadly what it's about. James, did you get any deeper into that or how it works while I was yammering?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, most of it's quite a black box because most of it's being done by the AI. But yeah, the idea is basically that your HubSpot will use the data it has on all the people that have already gone through or currently going through your life cycle stages. It will look at the different activities and engagements and the gaps between them and the behavior, and use that to determine for future people who's going to be most likely to close, and also people are most likely to be engaging in the right way. So that's why we've got engagement and fit scores there.
Yeah.
So the AI is basically just going to be learning in the background as you get conversions, as you get deals, as your reps close deals. And as it does so, it can use that data to give you a realistic score. Whereas previously, what I've seen is people set up their lead scores based on what they think is going to work.
Yes.
And they never really evaluate them later when they actually have some data to work off of. Or now you don't need to bother with it. AI is going to do it for you.
Now that is the difference. That's very well put, actually. So yeah, previously we've had lead scoring in HubSpot, and we've built those scores. That's what I was looking for when I was running up and down. But James made the point there. It's the HubSpot AI itself that is pulling the scores through, just like it's pulling the company information through and so on. So I'm going to guess it's also going to get better. The longer that it works in your portal, the longer it knows what sort of profiles get through to closed one. I'm sure it'll improve. And the engagement score then, which is clearly related, is based on how engaged they are, I assume, with your content, right? So your emails, your web pages, that sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a nice tool called Thalox that already does this. It actually, if you quick plug for Thalox, if you install it into HubSpot, it'll take all your email subscriber information and it'll segment your subscribers by engagement. So this is another one perhaps HubSpot have seen the opportunity to do themselves, do it better themselves maybe, and bring it in to the package. This is for marketing. So you'll be, I'm going to guess, Marketing Pro and above. Have we got a subscription on you?
Marketing Enterprise.
There you go. So this is super sexy at the minute, and it's very limited as well. So if you want to get in it, jump in it sharpish. But yeah, that's basically what it's doing. And again, it's a black box, like James said. It's just going to throw these engagement scores out for you without you having to bother to go in to construct workflows or anything else to create the lead scores. That's really nice. A good spot there, Rich, I think. It's a lovely bit of kit. Now, if we look down this AI prospecting road, what you'll increasingly see is not only the surfacing of leads, people who are potential prospects for you, but the segmentation and qualification of those leads before they even get to you. So again, ideally, we'll waste less time, we'll bother fewer people, and we'll offer a better service. That'll be the theory, right? It'd be nice to see that finally happening, and rather than having AI used for evil, just spamming everybody in the world, we should get better. It's automatically going to reduce the amount of people that we talk to, which will be interesting. If you think about all the waste that goes into sales and marketing at the minute, spamming people, messages going left, right, and center, LinkedIn DMs, SMSs, the emails that you get, it would be great to think that those will stop as AI gets better. I can't see it. I'd love to think that's going to be the consequence, and all the spam will disappear, apart from rogue spam, and then we can press a button to get rid of all our spam, and everything else will be filtered, targeted, and orchestrated specifically for us. Hopefully that's what's going to happen. I can't see it myself. Anyway.
So what? Going on from this one, I also saw company health scores, so that's sort of on the flip side of this. I think it's probably on your other page.
Right. I saw this earlier. Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not
where
here.
Is it? Well, that's weird, but I've got it up here. But basically, this is the flip side of it. So this is the one for Service Pro and Service Enterprise, and this is all part of. Oh, you're on new to you, not on all product updates.
There you go. Now there's a bajillion updates instead of the 2 pages I thought there were. 1 second, everyone.
No, there are still 2 pages.
Oh, still only 2 pages.
Oh, yeah.
Phew.
Yeah. First page. So this one is basically taking into account all the data that you have on your contacts as associated with one of your customers, your companies.
I still can't see it. Which one is it, James?
Company health score. It's
assisted lead scoring. Lead scoring.
I can't see that either.
Oh, how very annoying. So we actually mentioned it earlier, but it's not here. And I don't know why, because as we said earlier, we should have all of the updates, as this is a demo account.
It's coming up on my demo portal anyway. But yeah, the idea of this one is basically for customer retention. That's one of the main objectives
Yeah.
of it. So
Yeah.
this is something that's be quite useful for instance, HubSpot SaaS clients, B2B SaaS clients. If we're feeding in data on the users
Yeah.
of our client systems into their contact records, then that can all be aggregated and used into a company health score, as well as other engagement that you may have with customer marketing, sort of customer newsletters, anything that you're sending out, customer surveys. So bringing all that data into a single score, which the customer success team can then use to work out who's going to churn, who has the best chance of renewal, best chance
So
of upsell, cross, etc.
the cool thing about this then is it's based on the factors that pertain to you and your business specifically. This is not based on, scraping the web for people's credit scores or any of that nonsense, which you might see when it comes to lead scoring. This is actually the company score as it pertains to you and your relationship with that company. That's fantastic.
Exactly.
That's really
yeah.
cool.
The
That is
more
really
you put
cool.
into HubSpot, the better that will be.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Really cool. I do think I was speaking to somebody, an ex Zendesk employee. Well, I won't reveal their name and embarrass them, but they've jumped over, as it were. They're now riding the orange wave with the rest of us, and I do think I wouldn't be surprised to see quite a bit on Service Hub in inbound in the conference. I think it's a bit of a sleeper. I think it's a bit of a giant in HubSpot. We don't really talk about it. Rich, we were talking this morning about sales and marketing as we tend to do, but I think HubSpot and service is a real sleeper waiting to take over, because if you think about it from a customer platform perspective, especially, so HubSpot is probably famous for go to market. It's famous for sales and marketing, but if they increasingly talk about the smart CRM, they increasingly talk about customer platform. And what that's doing is pulling all of your data on the customer into one place, and that is, if you think about the bow tie model, right? That's pre-sale and importantly post-sale. So those are the engagements that people are having with you. Those are the complaints they're making. Those are the issues that you need to resolve. All of which is absolutely vital data when it comes to product and service delivery, product and service design. I'm sorry. That is a treasure trove of information, right? That when you talk about being data driven, that's what we want to get at. So things like that, company score, I think, are absolutely fantastic. It's the future. Service Hub is the future. You heard it here first, kids. Forget sales and marketing. You don't need to do that. Customer service as an acquisition strategy. What do you think of that? There you go. Answers on a postcard, please. Right. What's next, James? Have you got anything else that you're hiding away in your portal that we can't see?
I don't think so. No. Well, I guess we'll find out very shortly.
Yeah, I was going to say that's quite a hard question, probably. To be fair,
it is. Yeah.
Can we do some of this chatbot stuff? Because there's a couple of nice chunky chatbot things.
I was going to say, related to the AI, obviously, is the other chatbot things. This chatbot in the email editor is quite interesting. Rich, do you want to talk about that?
Oh, I would love to. That's very kind of you introducing me such.
So, do you want 5 minutes to read it and then watch a video?
I'm not going to read it. I'm going to ad lib it completely.
Ad libs.
I think the first bit is really important, that this is available across the whole platform, so from free upwards. So that's great. It's really pushing this the sort of AI concepts that they've been that HubSpot have been sort of bringing to market and aligning it more with what actually other people are doing. I think in terms of how easy it is and how accessible it is. But basically, it's just bringing those tools into that editor and giving you the opportunity to do things like rewrite a part, rewrite the all, rewrite this in a different voice, etc. And those things are really important. I think increasingly, if you can get an AI to write things in a way that sort of talks to your brand, that's a bit crappy saying it like that. But what I mean is, talking it in a way that doesn't sound like AI, sounds more like how your staff or your people would interact with somebody, is really quite important, especially as AI becomes ubiquitous. So, you don't want to get this thing where all brands sound like AI, which I think is already starting to happen.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh dear. Nothing trivial, I hope.
Excuse me.
Never work with kids or animals or people with a cold.
People with a chest infection. So I think that's in the email editor, but they're also releasing very similar functionality for the SMS editor.
Yes.
That's obviously much less pointed because it's only on enterprise. But nevertheless, for SMSs, you get the same functions. I mean, ultimately, we want to see this across all of the tools that involve, the need to write things. Obviously, so
I think, yeah,
a lot easier.
it's an interesting one because, as you say, this is elsewhere in HubSpot anyway. It's even in the sales extension. You can use ChatSpot or AI to help you write sales emails. You can certainly use it to write blogs and other content, web pages and whatnot. So it's good to see it sort of finally catch up, if you like. And it is really powerful. But I suspect, what we're seeing really is just the full immersion of ChatSpot into HubSpot. It'd be very interesting. That obviously is going to be another big topic in inbound. Scott has been quite rightly, I think, critical of how quickly HubSpot have moved from an AI perspective. I like to explain that by looking at the size of their organization. They can't do things quickly like they once could. They've got 200,000 customers and 2 billion worth of revenue to worry about. Can't go messing around with that. But just like Apple, you would expect them to sort of do a catch up, and potentially copy Apple's strategy of being best in class when they finally do launch. On that subject, it'd be interesting to see what the so-called Apple Intelligence is going to offer next week in the iPhone 16 launch, if that's even on the cards. So yeah, are there any other little chat spotty ones on there that we can pick out? Multi-language is kind of AI related.
Oh, that's just for HubSpot support chat, kind of like
Okay.
If you're a customer in a certain region, you can now use HubSpot's AI self-service chat to talk in your language, which is good because that self-service chat is actually getting really useful. I asked a complex question about reporting only this morning, and it gave me an answer that I was never expecting HubSpot's AI to be able to give me at this stage, and save me a whole conversation. So, it's getting the ratio of times I have to speak to HubSpot support rather than getting an answer that I couldn't find by myself while digging around is certainly increasing.
So let's go back to that, because on the other flip side of that, I was demoing AI reporting in HubSpot the other day, and it absolutely messed the report, a single object report, up. It had no idea what I was talking about clearly, which is very embarrassing.
Yeah.
So it's obviously still a bit patchy.
Same thing with the workflow builder is pretty crap as well, to be honest.
Yeah. I love the idea, and you can see where it's going. But be careful. That's the watchword with AI, isn't it? Be careful.
Yeah.
There's your SMS editor, Rich, similar to the marketing email. So it's literally doing the same things as you talked about with your SMSs, and now elsewhere. I don't know if there's any other content generation that doesn't have ChatSpot to help generate now. Then, because it's in live chat,
I can't think of any.
It's in sales emails, it's in blogs, it's in web posts, web pages, landing pages. It's in marketing emails now, and it's in SMS. So I think
this is social as well, isn't it?
And social, yeah. What? Sorry, Rich.
This is the catch-up work, isn't it? Is just getting it, plumbed into the where we know it should be. So it's just catching up, really.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. So as we're here, there's a few that we mentioned last week. The repurposing PDFs, audio files, and video files, for instance, I recognize that because I thought that was quite cool, even though they've marked this as a low. Now my mouse has stopped working. That's handy. This is just moved status, James. You were saying this has gone from a private to a public beta.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are interested in taking some of your content that you've worked really hard on and spent a lot of money on and trying to mix it into something fresh and new, then now everyone can do it, basically.
I have lost my mouse. Somebody tell a joke or something.
I'm just going to throw a use case out there because James
go for it.
More about that than me. But basically, are you saying that we can take a PDF that's, say, a white paper, and throw it into this this new this editor, and say, pump me out, I don't know, a social post and stuff like that. Is that the kind of thing we're talking about? This is the remix.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's you've been able to do it with content that was created inside of HubSpot up to this point. So
Yeah.
if you put your own landing page in, or you put your own blog page in, or web page or whatever, it'll remix that. But as you can see, the interesting one is audio files as well. So it's actually going to scan, transcribe audio files, and allow those to be remixed as well, which is pretty cool. They also work with the aforementioned ChatSpot text editors too. So, well, obviously, because that's what it's doing, I guess, in terms of remixing. But once it's been remixed, you can further expand, or make more concise, or change the tone, or something else of that content. Let me see if I can just. Yeah, I think I've got him going again. Export approvals. I think, did we talk about that last week as well? I think we did.
No,
Yeah,
actually, we didn't. I don't think.
Oh, did we not?
I don't. Not that one. It was something similar
Okay.
about. But yeah, this is a nice little one, because people, like, clients hate giving export permissions to people. It's so dangerous that they can just run off with your data. So, but some people need it for building reports outside of HubSpot and various use cases, and so I often have situations where the customer tells me switch it off for everybody, and then the next day someone says they need it, and they have to
Yeah.
begrudgingly give it back. But now they can have approvals, so that they can control, well, you can use it. But if you try and export the whole database, I ain't going to say yes. Unless you have a very good reason.
I do commend HubSpot's attention to data protection. They made massive strides this whole year, and obviously there's still more coming. But the security center is really cool. The fact that you can sort of pick your data center. I can't speak for other CRMs, obviously, because I don't know them as well as I know HubSpot. But as an ex-GDPR consultant and somebody interested in the area, I think they're doing a brilliant job. Just the GDPR tools themselves are pretty cool, but they're getting pretty sophisticated now. Even down to the ability to forget people and all that kind of stuff. It's all getting built into HubSpot, which is awesome. You mentioned marketing tasks on mobile earlier, Rich.
Well, yeah, this whole evolution that HubSpot are bringing into the app, and enabling people to actually do much more of the marketing tasks and the marketing functions into the app, etc. I think it's got to be a good thing.
Yeah.
The more we can get in people's, it's all right having the platform on desktop, which is obviously where you're in an office, you're doing your things and etc. But ultimately, it doesn't really take into account things like when you're actually maybe not live, but like on site maybe, and you're doing something outside of doing something social maybe, and you want to post off something, or you want to do things like that. The more and more we can enable that in mobile and apps and things like that, obviously there's steps to this, and this is why this is important, because it's starting to become more holistic and more things are happening, and you can look at all of your things more so in there, like the campaign calendar and those kind of things, and reports, which before obviously was all more into the sort of the main sort of desktop sort of console. So all the things that are moving into that area have got to be good. So yeah, that's a really big thing, I think.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think of it also in terms of that poor. I'm thinking of the marketing manager, on his way home, maybe in the car, or on the underground, or strolling about, and suddenly a call comes in from the office. You didn't do this, or this hasn't been done, or this has gone wrong. Or can you get somebody to do something, and
can you approve this piece of content?
Can you approve this piece of content? Yeah, totally. It's increasingly available in the mobile, as you said, which, yeah, from a user perspective, seems really exciting, powerful, impactful. But from a work-life balance perspective, do we talk about that on HubSpot updates? I don't know if we do.
Why not?
It's
Relevant.
well, I think it's a thing. I guess if you want to be Saturday morning, if you want to be tidying things up, you perhaps leave work. Maybe you're working quite flexibly, and you finished early, and you're going to finish something off, and then that means you can be in the park. Yeah, fantastic. But there is, in our industries, in sales and marketing particularly, there's a lot of bro culture, toxic culture, hustle culture, whatever you want to call it. And I do slightly worry about it. It does sort of creep into my thoughts when we see things like this. As cool as they are, as useful as they are, as powerful as the tools are, I do just worry about the people on the other end of them who are going to be increasingly accessible to the boss. Increasingly connected to the platform.
Yeah, but that's okay. Most bosses aren't actually in HubSpot, are they? As we know, into people's portals. It's the doers that are in the portal, and the senior managers are
now then.
The golf course.
Now then, can open, worms everywhere. I love it.
I've got another can to open there as well. I noticed in the new home base within the app for marketers that they've added a section for workflow errors. So if, for instance, a nurture flow is failing for whatever reason, and some records haven't got through or something like that, then it's flagging that within the app. But the thing is, of course, the workflows tool is not just for marketers; it's across marketing, sales, and service. So I find it very interesting that HubSpot see the marketers as the one department they trust the most to actually fix the workflows and to look at them properly, rather than the sales and service teams.
Wow, there's a bit of historic bias there, isn't it? Of course, it started as a marketing app, and maybe they're showing their true colours there. Us salespeople need to watch out. HubSpot have got it in for us. Very good
I
point.
would trust a marketer to make it work for you sooner than sales in most instances.
What? Oh, controversy, ladies and gentlemen. Controversy. Management aren't in HubSpot. Sales can't be trusted. What else is going to come out of today's fantastic call?
We're just smashing the facts at you. We're just smashing the facts at you.
Well, the sad thing is, you could add to that, sales don't care. So I suppose it doesn't really matter. Right, what else do we want to talk about? We've got CRM object APIs. I feel like we talked about that last week as well. Multi-status support.
I wouldn't expect you to be able to tell the difference.
I can't differentiate. Yeah, as soon as this exactly once it's got API on it, I sort of gloss over a little bit. Do you want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is sort of around building integrations. It's just another thing they've added in to make building integrations, in this case, debugging them a little bit easier. So if you're syncing data between different apps, maybe one system's got data in text field, one's got it in a drop down, one's got it in numbers, so on and so forth, different validation rules, then errors are going to happen when there's inconsistencies, and you need to see that as a developer to get those systems to properly connect. And the idea of this is it's going to group those errors. So you can put some error code into this natively, which I'm probably not explaining very well in technical terms. What it means in layman's terms is that a developer can then go in and they'll see grouped errors to say X records have failed due to this particular validation error, and rather than having to scroll through 2,000 errors, many of which will be the same, and try and figure out what the real problem is.
So that's actually what developers do. Interesting insight.
Yeah, we do. We build stuff, and then when it breaks, we fix it.
And then break it. Yeah, totally. Talking of breaking things after they've been done, undo. This is one of those. What do we call it? Last week, a Ron Seal update. Undo reject in duplicate management tool. Surely this has got to be. It says low impact. That's going to be massive. I'm always pressing buttons too early and doing things that I shouldn't have done. I'm assuming this is going to be undo dedupe, is it? Undo delete.
Exactly. Yeah. That has caused problems. I've definitely had a couple of calls where people have said I accidentally merged two things.
Yeah, actually, it's a good point. Yeah, this is reject, isn't it? So this isn't actually the duplication or the deletion.
Right.
This is rejecting. So when you get a pair flagged up by HubSpot as a potential dedupe, you can reject it and they go back to living as they once did. This is going to undo that, so you can take another look at it.
Yeah. A shame you can't do it the other way around because, as I say, that's probably more damaging than saying no.
Yeah, it's got to be Ops Hub Pro again. Another feature that you would
Yeah.
think would be quite handy, stuffed up into the upper tiers. Ops Hub, as powerful it is one of the more expensive um,
Yeah.
subscriptions. So it's a shame to see it there. You would think that would be available to everybody. Poor admins all over the world doing their dedupes. And then again, if they haven't got
Exactly.
Ops Hub Pro, they probably wouldn't be doing them in HubSpot anyway. Thinking about it, so it is a tool that works specifically in Ops Hub Pro. Yeah, I wonder if there's a undo merge as well. Then it must be either on its way or it must be in play.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a harder one, that one.
Right, non-human. So this is replacing the what they used to do with the Apple stuff, which has been sunset. If I whack over here, the adjusted open rate is now being sunset. It has been sunset, right? So the way that we were looking at how things like Apple's scanning of emails impacts email open rates and engagement rates and things. So that's been binned and been replaced, obviously, by this non-human interactions, which obviously is the same thing, but I'm guessing it's a more sophisticated way of coming to the same conclusion, right? Or obviously it'll be a different conclusion, but it wants us to
More true conclusion.
to be able to differentiate between when an actual person has opened your email and like for instance Apple scanning or anything else has triggered the pixel accidentally.
Yep, exactly.
All hubs and tiers, nice. So nice tool. That anything that makes the analysis, this data more useful is obviously a good thing.
Can I flag one?
Please.
So this inline editing on association tables.
Ooh, ooh.
This is actually quite useful.
Is this
So
page 2? Here we go. Sorry, Rich.
page
Yeah,
one.
with you.
So I think actually for you two to talk about, but I mean I can see the usefulness of it straight away insofar as in the CRM view you can see things like deal details and stuff like that, which is what it's showing in that little screen that's got information in it there. So that's really interesting, I think, so that you can actually make changes there rather than having to sort of go through all the different loops to get to where you need to edit a piece of data.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
A real. This is in the summary page, is it?
It is, yeah, for the associated records to the main record. So, I mean, obviously we've had this for in the as in the contact companies deal lists pages for a while for the spreadsheet happy people to be more happy. But
Yeah.
it is definitely good to have this here as well. Because exactly as you say, Rich, if you wanted to do this from that lists view, you'd have to apply all sorts of filters, do loads of jumping through hoops, which is unnecessary. So yeah, this is a great addition to that.
And this is basically a platform UI change, isn't it? Really, because it's available to everybody, and it's just a change in the way of working. It's these kind of things are quite big things just in and of themselves. If you change the UI of the whole platform, then
yeah,
a big thing. So yeah,
exactly.
That seems like a good one.
Big techie, like it. Or high techie. That's what we want. So it does also point to the fact that these additional pages. Let's see if we can have a quick look. And I can share these. I don't know what will be on this because it's a demo portal, so it's maybe a trip to the unknown yet. But this overview page now is becoming extremely useful. It was a bit of a gimmick, I think, when it first came in.
Yeah.
But including things like the ability, as you can see here, then the ability to it's a private beta, obviously. Yes, it's not enabled, but you'll be able to go in and edit these things inline, as Rich said, rather than jumping back to the records or going into a list or anything else. And the actual deal score is quite cool. It won't be. You'll find it by going on the deal record by customizing the record. So that's really interesting as well. I wanted to flag this one up again. I think this is quite big.
Yeah, it is.
So we've got in the campaigns tool, we've already got reporting. We've got ROI of a sort, which has historically been a bit tricky, I think, to bring to the fore. There's all sorts of implications and shenanigans that you have to go through in order to get the deals associated and get the revenue associated in. So how's this different, James? It's obviously it's a medium impact, so HubSpot think it's a big deal. What's going on?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had this before, and I've hated saying no to customers who've come and said we need to be doing ROI reporting across our whole marketing efforts, and I've had to turn around and say you can only do that with your ad spend. And my my understanding of this really is that it now extends that to everything. So you'll get that ROI score directly in your campaigns. Your campaigns are of course linked to all your marketing assets, all of your marketing efforts across the board. Your budget is in there as well. It's just making that, just showing the financial benefit of your marketing and how well your marketing is going against the most important metric, which is the ROI, a lot easier. Now you
Have
can
they
do it in
showed
HubSpot.
it? Have they changed the way that we can allocate revenue into the um right, let's
Mm,
have a quick look, because as I say, it proves to be a difficult step to take previously.
yeah,
Um, oh, there you go. So if it's revenue, the ROI is based on revenue. It is going to automatically count revenue from closed won deals associated with the campaign, which is exactly what you would expect it to do, which is really cool. Which I believe it was difficult to do previously. An associated deal value calculates the ROI even based on the sum of the total deal amount for all closed deals with revenue. You've got also on an enterprise, you've got attributed revenue as well. Now, that's very interesting. So if you've got a few dark funnels out there and you've got revenue, Rich, we were talking about attribution yesterday, I think. You've got revenue, you don't really know where it's come from, but you can sort of see the impact of a brand campaign, for instance, which was the specific example we were talking about. Looks like you can whack that in. Yeah, I don't know. I'd love if there's anybody watching. I'd love for somebody to comment on that, because I felt like that was there, and maybe what have they cleaned it up? They've made it easier to do, or whatever it is they've done.
it's just an extra box basically that's appeared. I'm looking at my demo portal now. We used to have like the revenue attribution, the influence, contacts, things like that.
Yeah.
Now there's a box at the top that shows ROI, total spend, and
Okay.
total attributed revenue. The three important metrics just right up there.
Right. So yeah, it is where it was possible to do it before. It is now. It is placed up front and center. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. Then I think that is a big, quite a big deal.
Mm.
We've got onboarding experience for the Shopify app, a private beta. So you're probably aware, if you do use Shopify, that the old HubSpot Shopify app was binned and a new Shopify app was launched, massively improving the integration with Shopify, and therefore what you can do in HubSpot based on Shopify data. And clearly, another one sealed here. This is an experience I'm sure will come to everybody, but currently is a private beta. It's low impact and it's free. It's on all hubs, and basically, as you can see, it's just helps you set yourself up. It makes it easier to connect Shopify to HubSpot and do the things that you want to do, which can only be a good thing.
I think there's a thing here about just from my experience in other markets, but like I know a lot of people who use Shopify, and a lot of them, are just taking the next step from selling on Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah,
and they basically got some things they want to sell, or starting to go through that process. So they're starting to think, well, actually, I need something a little bit more. So they're using things like WooCommerce
yep,
or Shopify, obviously. But of course, those people tend, in very broad terms, tend to be more marketers than they don't really have like deep understanding of IT. They know what their goals are and they know what they want to get done. So these kind of things, I think, are really talking to that kind of level of people who are using things like Shopify. I just think it's really useful to get these things sort of get what those, because I've used things on HubSpot before, and the onboarding
Yeah.
hasn't been difficult. It's just been kind of like, well, I'm not really sure what's happened. I've onboarded, I've plugged something in, and I'm really not sure what's happened. What has just happened?
Yeah.
So I think the more HubSpot can support things like that, is obviously going to be massively useful. So yeah, thumbs up for this.
It's an interesting one because we talked last week, I think, a little bit about their increasing e-commerce credentials. Let's put it that way. A couple of years back, you really didn't take HubSpot seriously as an e-commerce marketing platform, not least because the competition is so well established. I think of Klaviyo or Clavio, I think is one of them. Shopify themselves, their own platform. And I know of a platform called Salesmanango, which is like a super duper customer data platform version. I wonder if, again, if this is HubSpot quietly creeping up on the B2C marketplace. We're all B2B marketers, yeah, I think. It's fair to say. I know, Rich, you've got B2C experience far more than I have. James, I don't know whether you have or not, but um, I
Not
I,
really,
te-
no.
I tend to think of HubSpot as a B2B play. It's for sales teams, it's for brand marketers, it's for lead generation, demand generation, nurturing, and all those kinds of things. So the e-commerce world has largely been a shut door, and to us as agencies, we don't really talk to commerce to consumer brands, I should say, D2C brands or B2C brands, whatever your preferred terminology is. So it would be interesting to see how this continues to develop. It's really quiet, kind of powering up of the e-commerce chops, the e-commerce credentials.
I think, Tony, talking to that, I think it's really interesting insofar as how you're absolutely right. We're mainly B2B, and that's our kind of focus and things. And I think it massively changes how you use HubSpot, but also the demand and the emphasis on the different tools in the tool set. So,
Yeah.
for example, obviously everything becomes, well, not obviously, but everything becomes more about, if you're doing e-coms, it's all about making sure that your customers are happy, you're providing customer service, so therefore you're leaning heavily into that side of HubSpot. As you would say, Tony, and also Donald Trump, bigly, you're emphasizing that bigly in that side of things. So are people's customer service inquiries being dealt with and sorted and all those things. So
And
that's a big service play. So I think the more and more those things grow, as well, I think it's, like you say, is growing the natural fit with e-commerce platforms.
And a lot of these AI scoring things as well are in these other platforms, but from a perspective of a consumer's interaction with the website and a consumer's interaction with products and things. So if you're a D2C brand, you probably got a lot more customers than a typical B2B brand will have, spending less money. But it may be that your website traffic is crazy off the chart. So the ability for these platforms to understand what's going on, to imply and create context and offer marketing, contextual marketing, events-based marketing, is unparalleled in HubSpot, really. So it will be, I think, really interesting to see that happen, that come into this space, because they do say, if you want to learn how to do B2B marketing, learn how to do B2C marketing, because obviously all business people are consumers first and foremost. We respond to the same things. We think the same way when we're buying business to business stuff as we do when we're buying direct to consumer stuff. Right. There's a few little diversions off there today. Is there anything else anybody wants to particularly pick up? I think we've covered everything.
I can see three more little ones in there.
Go
So
for it.
there's CRM data backup, which has just gone live. So that's basically, that was in beta until just now. And now basically, rather than exporting everything individually. If you're doing a backup, go into your contact page, your company page, etc. You can just hit one button and export all the important data from HubSpot in one hit. So you can store that in your backup system.
I saw that in our portal actually, and maybe the other one is related. Another one is related to that. No? Sorry, I thought I was cleverly leading you to the next little update that you were going to mention. No.
Nope. No, the other two things are
Shut up, Tom.
completely different. So then there's another little thing, which is the addition of analyze tabs for website pages and landing pages. So
Yes.
we know we've had for a long time where for marketing emails, we can go to the analyze tab and we can look at our old email sending activity collectively or break it down by campaign. Or you can go and look at individual emails. Now for web pages, you can do the same, look at that in an aggregated way and see how that area of the work
really
is
cool
performing.
little AI tweak. Absolutely agree with that.
And lastly, new company property called Recent Ticket Sentiment, which is basically aggregating all of the sentiment scores you're getting from the tickets you're handing for your customers on individual contacts into one sentiment score on the company level, which then of course ties in with your health score, and it ties in with your whole customer success drive that HubSpot really wants to be doing with the Service Hub, getting away from just being a support and being with a customer success system.
Yeah, nice. Lots of really exciting things. I say I bet a load of it is pointing to inbound in a couple of weeks. I've no doubt we'll do an inbound version of this popular show, award-winning update show. But otherwise, it's just lies. If anybody's listening, that's just lies. That's straightforward untruths. We haven't won an award yet. We haven't even entered for an award, which is why we haven't won, clearly.
Exactly,
But come back this time next week for more nonsense and hopefully a bit of fun and maybe some insight into what's going on in HubSpot. You'll see this on the LinkedIn. You'll see it on the YouTubes on our channel. James doesn't bother to repost it on his. I don't know why, but that's his own choice. And if you're if you're a real inbound community member, you'll see it in your HubSpot Updates folder as soon as I managed to process it. Thank you very much, everyone or anyone who's watching. We do get visitors, by the way. I do check the analytics. We get like a couple of hundred people watching this. Nobody actually comments on it, but there are people out there who maybe come across it accidentally or something.
That's all the paid budget can stretch to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we just think of it as honing our craft, right? By the time we get good at this, maybe we'll actually have an audience to talk to. There you go. Thank you, everyone. If you have bothered to show up, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me again. Hopefully, Scott will be back with us next week, and we'll do it all again. Speak to you soon.
See you then.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.